Well, hi there and welcome to this edition of ZoeTV. We're so glad that we're back on the air, able to bring you these shows each week. And today we had a really special guest. We have Ruth Smith. She is our resident of inspiration this week. And of course, if you remember, she was nominated by Marlene Christians.
Yep.
So we're going to hear from her today.
I can't wait to see her feistiness come out.
I know.
All of them, Barb.
Yes.
It's wonder why they all nominate each other.
Yes,
They're all little.
They're very similar. But yes, so we're really excited to be able to talk to her. And then after we talk to Ruth, we're going to talk to Kay Baker. She's our Vice President of Development here at Glencroft. And she's going to talk to you a little bit about the food pantry and how COVID has changed some of the ways we do our grants and that type of thing. So we're really excited about this show.
It's going to be a great show. Stick with us.
Stay tuned.
Hello, I'm Liz Vasquez, Dining Services Director at Glencroft Center for Modern Aging, and today we're going to be making the simple sundae with grilled chicken. So what you're going to need is some chopped romaine or any other greens you'd like to have. I've got some sliced Roma tomato, some sliced cucumber, some shredded julienne carrots, some hard-boiled egg, and a grilled, chilled chicken breast. And this is how we're going to assemble this. I'm going to take my tomatoes, and put them on either side of the salad like that. On the cucumber. And you're going to stick your carrots right in the center. Just do a fluffy pile right in the center. Draws your eye to the center, adds color to the center of your dish. And you're going to add your eggs and kind of the empty spots here. Just like that. And now you're going to take your grilled and chilled chicken breast, like I have here. And you're simply going to cut it on an angle and julienne it into strips, just like that, very simply. And you're going to center that right on the top of your salad. And then you can dress it with any of your favorite dressings. And that is a simple sundae with grilled chicken. I'm Lish Vasquez, Dining Services Director at Glencroft Center for Modern Aging, and eating healthy can taste good. Happy cooking.
Well, today, as part of our Resident of Inspiration, of course, last week, Marlene Christians, she nominated Ruth Smith. So today we have Ruth Smith on our show, and we're excited to get started by asking her how she felt when she found out that Marlene had nominated her.
Well, knowing Marlene, it didn't surprise me.
Aww.
Because whoever she nominated would probably have the same as me to say about me. So I wasn't surprised.
Aww.
Marlene is a very outspoken, fun individual. We've talked about her relationship with Barbara, but I've seen that relationship with this one in the Performance Center and be able to kind of expand on that. You've been no stranger down here. We've had a good time to work together and hear background. She's quite the golfer.
Yes, I can tell.
She loves to rub in my face that she's had 2 hole-in-ones to my 1 hole-in-one. So she holds that over me every time I see her.
So how long have you been a golfer?
I started when I was about 50 years old.
Really?
I played softball before that.
Athlete.
Okay.
So you were an athlete.
Yeah. Yes.
Always been an athlete?
Well, I grew up with 3 brothers, so I think I could say yes.
Yes, I would think so. Absolutely.
Now you grew up in the Valley. Give our viewers some background on where Ruth came from.
Well, I was born in Texas, and in 1938, my mother passed away, and a year later, my dad packed us 6 kids in the car because he was tired of West Texas and trying to farm. And so we, if you can visualize it, he pulled a trailer with a mattress on top and 6 kids in the car, and we came to Glendale.
Oh my goodness. And then and you went to school here.
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit before we started the show. How long have you lived here at Glencroft?
Since November of 2015.
Oh,
So
2015.
almost 5 years.
Oh, nice. Ah.
That's very good.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite part? I mean, we have so much in terms of offerings and dining service, and we have so many amazing amenities. What do you love most about Glencroft?
Oh my goodness, it's too much. We probably don't have time. But I always knew about Glencroft, and I'd never heard anything bad about it. But after I came here, it was so much like a community and things to do. And so I've never been bored for 1 second since I've lived here.
See, that's so nice.
And you are actually about to pack up your bags for the summer and head up to Pine Top.
Yes.
How long you been doing that?
My husband and I first bought a property in Pine Top in '78. And then when he retired, at about 55 years old,
Oh my goodness.
we moved, we were able to spend a lot of time up there, and he and I golfed together and enjoyed life.
Oh, that's
And you're
nice.
still going.
Absolutely.
And so I'm still going. Yes, I still have property up there.
Yes,
Well, much needed cool air.
I know.
We're all very
We've been talking
envious
about
of
that.
your
Yes.
route up the hill. We're
So
sweating.
tell us about your friendship with Marlene.
Well, she's one of the first ones I met because it's easy to meet Marlene because
Yes.
she reaches out
She
to
does.
welcome you.
Yeah.
And she just started inviting me, do this, we'll do that, we can do this, or we can do that. I work at the thrift store. I said, oh, I want to work with you. And it
Oh,
just
that's
went on
nice.
from there.
Oh, how have you maneuvered through this COVID-19 period that we're going through?
Well, I've made about 300 masks.
You're amazing. Yes.
I've given away many of them, and I've donated a lot
Yes.
Very cool.
on campus and away.
Yes. Thank you so much for that
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
I don't think people realize how much that helps. It really helps our teams.
I just was amazed the need for them, and a lot of them I've been putting in the marketplace, and I do charge a little bit for those. But the residents need them too.
Yes, they do.
Not
Yeah.
just the care centers.
You're exactly right. Yes, absolutely. All right, so I'm going to ask you the most important question of the interview today, and that is a drum roll, please. Who would you like to nominate as Resident of Inspiration for this next week?
I have the sweetest neighbor that she's been there almost as long as me. She's almost my age. She's actually a little bit older. Her name is Nelda Kent,
Okay.
and she's just a sweetheart.
All right.
I've never heard her say one complaint about anything. And or no rumors. She doesn't do rumors.
I love that. Thank you, Nelda.
She can be funny. She's just a sweet person, humble and educated, and
Aw.
That's very cool.
Well, congratulations, Nelda, and we're going to be in touch with you because we want to have you on the show next week. So be waiting by the phone. We're going to give you a call.
That's
and
right.
we so appreciate Ruth for being here. We have something special for her
Oh, how
to
sweet.
keep.
Ruth, that's for you, and that's
Yes.
from, Marlene, and that's kind of in recognition of last week, and then we've got a little swag bag of
Yeah,
goodies
just-
for you to
Yes,
partake in.
absolutely, yes.
But we think that this, you know, what's so fun about who she nominated, I haven't met her, I don't think. I'm probably will recognize her, but I think it's going to be so fun to see where this goes and where, you know, she nominates next and see where this train takes us. So.
This is so positive, and we love that you all are involved in this. We thank you so much for being involved in this. We need a lot of joy and happiness and positiveness that we hope we bring into this show as well. But thank you, Ruth, so much for coming and being
Go hit
with
him
us
straight
today.
up in the cool air. Don't get another hole-in-one on me. That'll be 3-1.
Well,
that won't be good.
Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate everything you guys do for us here at Glen Cross.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, today we have Kay Baker that's joining us, and we are going to talk a little bit about what's going on with the foundation, the food pantry, and welcome, Kay.
Thank
you for joining us.
Being here, Kay.
I just ran down from the food pantry.
So tell us what's going on with the foundation now.
Okay, well, we are busy raising money for the food pantry, actually, and I am so excited to say we've raised almost $49,000. I think it will go over that today. We've spent $32,000 on the food. So the truth of it is we need to keep raising the money, but we're sending out a new campaign to all of our donors, our grant funders, and because it's an amazing thing. And,
it is.
And the residents love it. And just so you know, we are talking about changing things up a little and getting in more fruits and vegetables and maybe bringing in some things like top ramen or something you could stick in the microwave. But the goal is to provide a variety and to help people be able to stay on campus and not go out and, you know,
expose themselves.
COVID is going up in our community. Not this community, but the community at large. And so it's our goal to keep our residents safe and to provide our staff with food as well so that they don't have to work all day and then go to the store. So that's the goal, and it's, you know, John's goal to keep that going as long as we possibly can.
I think it's so cool that we've been able to execute that food pantry in ongoing, coming out of this initial, you know, COVID crisis mode, but able to maintain it because, like you said, even we're still in the crosshairs. Our demographics, our residents are, so if we can mitigate some of them having to get exposure, leaving campus to go get necessities, we want to maintain that.
That, and with the marketplace, it does make it easier to stay in place. And that's important. That's an important message we need to say.
So I think it's important to tell the viewers what goes on behind the scenes with the food pantry. There's so much legwork that dining services are instrumental in. And just sitting in a meeting the other day and hearing all of the behind the scenes of, you know, our residents line up, they get prepackaged stuff, it's easy, it's fun, this is great, but there's so much work that happens on the back end. Maybe explain a little bit of that process.
Okay, well, so far we've had close to 400 people a week. So we know the need is there and we know the desire is there. We've changed the time to make it a little cooler, although 8 o'clock's not super cool, but it's better than 2 hours later.
Absolutely.
So we buy the food, all the food is purchased, it's not donated, and we try really hard to keep, you know, we wear gloves, we wear masks, we constantly wash our hands. I love it. I actually, these are things I love to do, so I work at it every week. And we have dining services that volunteer, and the housekeeping people are amazing. They work tirelessly, and they help the residents who need help fill their bags. Those that can go on their own, go on their own, and then when they're done, we package up about 180 to 200 bags of food that we deliver to the different places on campus so that the nurses don't have to leave their station and maintenance doesn't have to stop their work. And even the kitchen people, they're busy working. They don't really have time to run over. So we're trying to make this as easy as possible. And then we open it again at 1:30. And those that didn't get food or want something else, they can come over and get what they want. And we're trying real hard not to be like stingy about it. If you need something,
Right.
come and get it. You know, if you need and you want more than one apple, we're okay
Right.
with that
Yeah.
because
Right.
there are other people who don't. And you know what I have found so interesting, which I think this about people in general. Most people don't ask for money if they don't need it.
Right.
And most people don't take things
Right.
that they don't need. So I've seen that people are, in the beginning, everybody was taking toilet paper because in the beginning you couldn't
Well,
get it. Now many people walk through and go, no, I have plenty. So nobody's hoarding and nobody's, you know, taking more
I think
than
everybody's
their
so
share.
grateful
Yes,
that this is happening.
I agree.
And they're-
Absolutely. And they're looking
so that's
forward
been
to it.
really a
Yes.
fun thing to not have to monitor or walk around going, no, you
Yeah.
can't have
Yeah.
2 apples, you know.
Yes.
So it's a pleasure, all of it.
Yes.
It's one of the best things I think
Well, I
we've
know
done.
when we were in the middle of it and we were all kind of just home having to isolate on campus, that I looked forward to Wednesdays so
Right.
much just to walk the
Yeah.
line and see our
Yes, me
people, because it
too.
was like the only time
You
we got
didn't
to
get
see
to
them
see
be
them.
out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think going through that little touch of looking forward to Wednesdays, in that sense of it's not normal to have to stay in line to get toilet paper, but like I see you and I see you,
Right.
and that you
Yeah.
can't put a number on what that brought people.
That's right.
Well, and I want to say too, kudos to our residents. They're all wearing their masks.
Yes.
They all, you know, use the sanitizer.
Yes.
I think people understand that we are in this together and we owe it to each other to protect ourselves, so we help them.
That's
and
right.
And I see that. And you know, we've offered a few masks for people who don't
Yes.
have one or they forget one. And so I didn't see anybody today. I saw one guy with his mask in his cart, but he put it right on.
Right.
So, you know, it was that guilt look I gave him. But, you know, other than that, they're doing a good job.
So, Kate, tell our residents, how has COVID affected the types of grants that we've literally always gone for, but even more so right now?
Well, a really nice thing that's happening with funders, they are realizing that the needs have changed. So a couple grants we were able to change the focus, and we just got a grant from the Thunderbirds with telemedicine, computers and carts and blood pressure cuffs, so that we can make this campus-wide. And I'm very excited because we are submitting a grant this week to Del Webb that's probably going to fund us with the entire amount between the two charities, that we could do exactly what Christy wants on this campus. Because I called her yesterday and I said, you know, you've given us your list, you've explained what you need, is this it? And she goes, if you could get this, it would really, it's what we need.
Right.
So I think we're going to be able to complete that in a
Yeah.
pretty short period
pretty
of time.
cool.
So
So
it's-
we can do that on our campus and keep people in place.
So, do you really feel like COVID has changed some of our priorities with regards
Oh,
to the grants and
Absolutely.
that type of thing?
We got a grant from Safeway, we got a grant from Fry's.
Yes.
We've, like I said, that 48, almost 49,000 was because funders understand that, and
Yes.
private donations from the generous residents here. But we got a grant from the Arizona Community Foundation for the food pantry. We're getting another one. They broke it up, but they've told us they're giving us another one. And the thing is, I think what funders understand, we actually have something to ask for that we've never really had to ask for. And everybody understands food, and everybody understands seniors, and the fact that we're trying to take care the best we can. So it's open doors in places we've never really been able to go to. Lots of places don't fund
Right.
older adults, and they're opening their pockets and saying, we see the need. That is the greatest need. Kids aren't the greatest need in
Right.
terms of COVID.
Well, I think COVID has reshaped the lens
I do
that we
too.
look through senior living
Yes.
from that kind of perspective of, wow, I didn't realize the number of
Yes.
senior living facilities out there, the number of, you know, that demographic that
Right.
lives in these, you know, communities. And I think that people that are willing to participate in grants are open to concepts like that when
Right.
based upon best practices coming
That's
out of
right.
COVID. Like, we want to adjust being 50 years old. There are some things we want to adjust on our end to embrace COVID and be ready,
Yes.
but we need help. And I
Right.
think the
Absolutely.
And they
community-
like the positive,
Right.
the positive thing. I know Millie sent out a press release, and what was picked up was we're helping our own staff.
Yes.
And I think that's the other part of this. They are understanding that we're not just serving our residents, we're serving each other. And it's a pretty amazing opportunity, and I think it's a good one to continue. So, you know, it would be my plea, if you have extra money that you could donate. This is a place that you can come and see your dollars are being spent
That's right.
weekly on the good of the whole.
Yeah.
And everybody's welcome to come and participate. It's not a matter of how much money you have, or, you know,
Right.
it's really open to everybody, and
Well,
that's a great thing.
I've always enjoyed hearing your passion behind this in talking about you're getting donations from residents that have never donated before
Yes.
on any other platform.
Right.
Boy, this has resonated with them.
Yes.
It's tangible. I know my money, like you just said, is being used for that. I think that's a great illustration.
Well, I want to just tell one story. I did have a resident call me and said, you know, I don't need the food. I can drive, I'm able-bodied, but I look around at my neighbors and they come back with food, and that's why I'm giving, because I see it's helping the people in my court. And you know, the truth of it is we can't all go out and buy groceries for everybody, but you can give money and we can buy groceries for everybody.
Yeah,
so
we can bring it in.
It is,
Absolutely.
it is really a good use of your funds.
Absolutely.
So on a final note, I know you like to work out. You've been a part of the ZoeLife Employee Program. We've kind of had to shelf it just temporarily.
Yes.
And as we're getting through phase 1, phase 2, that'll be coming back down the road. But how do you re-energize in the time of COVID and the stress and the anxiety, that all of it? How did you find yourself, and I got to de-stress by doing what? What was your
Walking.
outlet? Walking.
So the minute the walking paths opened, when it was cooler, I walked them every day, and you know, not all day. Sometimes I would work, but when I wasn't working, I would be out walking.
Yes.
And you know, it takes 15 minutes. I
Right.
mean, I like to walk fast, so I get up, I walk one of the paths 15 minutes and sit back down, and then I'm good. You know?
Yes.
And so since it's gotten so hot, I came down here and worked down here this week to kind of help. And I thought, well, before I go back up to my office, I'm going to try this little
Yeah,
spin
yeah, yeah.
around here.
Yes.
So I walked a couple miles just right in this room. And it's a great place to walk. It's
Yes,
cool,
it
it's
is.
quiet. There's nobody else, and it really does make your day better.
And you know what? I have to say, I don't know of another community in this valley, and there are probably some, that offer the types of things that we do to our residents seasonally. I mean, clear through the season, we're going to find an option for you to be able to stay active and healthy and work on your balance, flexibility, and your strength through this program. And honestly, I know that there are wellness centers and things like that, but none of them focus on the things that we focus on. So
Well, and one thing we added per you this week was, as you were walking in here, you said, I wish I had a little clicker so that I could track my laps around, because 37 ends up being quite like, was I on 6?
Oh
Was
yeah,
I
that
on 12?
ADD kicks in, and I'm like,
So we got them in, we have them down here. You're gonna check them out from the Performance Center's team, and that way we can clean them and make sure they're real safe. And then, but that way when you make the circle, click 1, click 2,
Yes,
and 37 or
that'd be
19
perfect.
or whatever you end up doing, it's easy to monitor, because we got a lot of our residents taking advantage of this room and getting
Yeah.
their miles, and they're logging them on their guide, and they're getting those mile markers met. And I know you are wanting to get your name
Yes.
up on the board.
of course I do.
Why wouldn't you want
Why not?
a free pie
You know
from
me. Wait, I do want to make one more comment about that, because I did work down here this week. And I actually told Millie this. It's so clean.
Yeah.
And it smells clean when you walk down that. And so you know, I know when I did it, I wiped down every single thing every single time someone touched it. So if you're worried, I think this is your safe place. You could come hang here.
Yeah, we are beyond sterile.
Yes.
This is probably, we're taking off layers of equipment with all of our cleaning stuff.
We
and the
really
air
are.
conditioner works really well down
It's very
there,
cold and very
so.
clean.
It is very cold and very clean.
Kay, thank you so much for joining us today. Great job. We really
you.
appreciate the information you've shared.
What a show. I mean,
You know, it's so fun to interview these residents that have been nominated by their friends for Resident of Inspiration and find out why.
I think that's the part, because they all know they're friends with each other, and they, you know what I mean, that's fun.
Yes.
But when you get to the heart of the why did you inspire me? What did you say? I think that is coming across and is palpable, like you feel that.
Yeah, and you really get a sense of the friendship that they've built here, the time that they share together. You know, Ruth was telling us a little bit off camera about the fact that when COVID started on our campus, her daughter was very concerned. And so she called her mother and said, "Mom, please make sure if you start feeling poorly, you call Marlene."
That's right.
She didn't say call me, she said call Marlene. And you know, that really shows the level of friendship and the ability to kind of be there for one another that we have here on campus.
Well, and I'm just excited, and I keep saying it, but it's true. I can't wait to see where this goes.
Right.
Where it's like we don't know each week who they're going to nominate, and then we pick up the phone and say, okay, hey, you were nominated. I was what? Yeah, she nominated you.
Well, and we have Nelda Kent that was nominated by Ruth, so we're very excited to get her on the show and see who she nominates as well.
That's right.
So
it's a great segment,
and
we
then
love
Kay, Kay came on and talked to us a little bit, kind of enlightened us about some of the grants that they're working on and how it's changed kind of the view of senior living and how people are giving to senior living communities and that type of thing. And
I think Kay gave really good perspective to the back of the house world of that food pantry, because I know from talking with residents, they love it. They obviously love the tangible aspect of grabbing food, but I don't think realize how much goes into this behind the scenes with dining services leading the charge and having these team members
ordering
that are
the food
all in on this
putting
concept.
It together. So
I loved her input on that. I think it's so
and
cool.
she's been working, helping to volunteer at the food pantry every Wednesday since it started. So you know, it was a great show. We hope you enjoyed it. Come back next week and we'll have another one for you. So
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.